For a long time, China has been considered the largest market for the ivory trade, but as of this year, any trade in ivory and ivory products is now illegal. Well, the move is being hailed as a landmark development in reducing elephant poaching. 90% of elephants have been wiped out over the past century, mainly due to the ivory trade. Around 20,000 elephants are killed every year for their ivory by poachers. And that works out at 55 elephants every day whose ivory is used for things like carvings, trinkets, and chopsticks. So will the introduction of this ban on ivory change things? Joining me now live from Hong Kong is Cheryl Loh, a crime specialist with the World Wide Fund for Nature. Thank you so much for joining us, Cheryl. Is this ivory ban a game changer?
Yes, the ivory ban in China is definitely a game changer for the elephants, because right now the elephants' populations has plummeted because of the poaching crisis, mainly for the demand for ivory, which China, being one of the largest market in the world, imposing a domestic ban completely across the whole nation would bring good news to the elephants, because that could shift the behavior of consumers.
You say it's a game changer, but China has argued in the past that ivory carving was part of its cultural heritage. Has there been a shift in attitude? Is that the case?
So culturally, China has, I think it's also same with a lot of the other countries having ivory as part of their culture. That is the same as many other European countries, Egypt or US. China is definitely one of the countries that has historically been using ivory. And myself, I grew up with ivory, a pair of ivory chopsticks as well. But there is a change in behavior in Hong Kong that we see here. China is still one of the major market, but after imposing a ban, being a very centralized government and being a very centralized state, the people tend to, the behavior will tend to change after a government decision has been made. So according to our survey, in fact, 86% of people would decide to change their behavior if they know about the ban. But the problem is the awareness is quite low. About 19% of the survey informants say that they are aware of the ban is taking place in China.
Indeed, just like yourself, you have ivory carvings in your chopsticks, which you just showed earlier, trinkets and other things in your home. But you mentioned awareness is a challenge. What about actually enforcing this ban? How difficult will it be?
China is a very big country, so enforcing a policy that would lead to, that would take some time before it actually communicates to the whole nation, and all the enforcement agencies find a way to work efficiently to enforce the ban. So it would take some time before the enforcement is fully in place. And this is one of the key challenge to ensure that the ban is effective, because we see that when something is being banned, usually there will be a displacement of the trade. So we see that in the Tier 1 cities in China, used to be the main cities of consumption, while the trade is being dislocated into Tier 2 or Tier 3 cities in China. And we could also anticipate that this trade can even go across the border, because illegal trade does not respect the borders.
Thank you.
They could,
Cheryl, I'll have to jump in there. We've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us in the program. Cheryl Loh joining us from Hong Kong.